I was in Florida on vacation with my sister. I didn't have any symptoms of like a headache or anything until in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, massive headache. And then I heard a pop in my head like someone blew a balloon. And my body began to shake. And I said, Sissy, something's wrong. She came and saw me in the bathroom. I was checking my face because I was checking to see if I could see what happened. And I couldn't. And then in my mind, I just started to pray. And the next thing I know, she was by my side. And that was the last thing I really remember.
And in her eyes, she's there, but she couldn't speak to me. So by the time the paramedics and everyone came, I could at least relate to them what it is she said, of hearing the song pop in her head and what it is happened. You know, she started to throw up and stuff like that.
So Nacastia suffered from a hemorrhagic type of stroke, meaning she had bleeding within the brain. And this bleeding came from a brain aneurysm that had ruptured. That's typically, in medical parlance, called a subarachnoid hemorrhage. When she first came to the hospital, she had some difficulty talking to us because that was part of the brain that was affected, and she was a little bit less awake than she would have been otherwise. So really the brain was globally affected. That's different from other types of stroke where maybe a smaller part of the brain may be affected.
And when I got here, they were giving her the MRI and stuff like that. Then the doctor came out and told me, your sister has an aneurysm, it's ruptured, it's bleeding. She has to be operated on right now.
So when Nacastia first came in, we performed what's called a cerebral angiogram. So she was completely asleep under anesthesia, and once that happened, we put a small catheter in the artery of the wrist. The arteries of the body are like a highway, so we put that catheter up into the arteries of the neck and took some pictures. From there, we diagnosed her as having a cerebral aneurysm as the likely source of her bleeding, and through the catheter, we placed small platinum coils into the aneurysm to embolize the aneurysm or to block it off to prevent her from having any further bleeding into the brain.
When I woke up, I was not in any pain. I wasn't feeling any discomfort in my head or anything like that. Just confused because I get no memory.
In Nacastia's case, her family acted quickly. They brought her to the hospital to receive care as quickly as possible. They knew something was wrong. She had a specific type of stroke from a brain aneurysm that ruptured, and that's usually associated with a sudden onset worst headache of life. It comes on like this. But for most patients, when they have a stroke, they don't have an aneurysm that ruptures. They have a different type of stroke, and that's usually something we try to talk about with the acronym BFAST. B for balance, E for eyes, F for facial drooping or facial numbness, A for arm numbness or weakness, S for speech, meaning inability to speak or to understand speech, and T is time to call 911. So in many cases, that's what you're looking for. And really, all I tell patients are, if you notice something's wrong, if something's off, call 911, have them bring you here. We're able to quickly diagnose you and treat you, and if you're having a stroke, you're going to receive the best care possible.
I'm feeling very grateful. I don't feel any like pain or anything like that, other than the normal things that I would feel after this event. But I'm so grateful again to the Most High for this.